Hey, happy, beautiful, amazing day. Dr. Bob Rakowski here with some interesting data to share. I was actually shocked to see that they actually sell yard signs and posters like this that literally say, in Dr. Fauci, we trust. And wasn't this country founded on something like in God we trust? And my gosh, are we replacing God with Dr. Fauci? Well, I certainly hope not, at least not the people that I know. Pretty fascinating that, it's been said that there are 4 C's of education that are really important. So creativity, collaboration, communication, and critical thinking. So are we being taught how to critically think? I'm going to share some data and let's think about it critically. So Abraham Lincoln had a good exercise on critical thinking. He asked this question: how many legs does a dog have if you call the tail a leg? Well, I'll give you a second to think about that. And the answer is 4. So just because you call a tail a leg, it doesn't make it a leg. Just because you cause something, maybe a pandemic, it doesn't make it a pandemic. Because you call something a effective treatment, it doesn't make it an effective treatment. Because you call something an ineffective treatment, it doesn't make it an ineffective treatment. So here is a drug, remdesivir, that Dr. Fauci basically has said, use it for hospital protocols. Now, I know some people that were treated with it, and very sadly, it didn't appear that either of them should have had a major challenge with this virus, but they're both dead. So many people in the hospital were treated with this. So here's what it says: remdesivir is approved by the Food and Drug Administration for both adult and pediatric patients that are in the hospital. So that's what is approved. So now the American College of Cardiology has decided to look at that. Let's look at remdesivir survival, length of hospital stay, and see what happened. So here's what they found out. The treatment was not associated with improved survival. So here's what we know. It's a toxin and it doesn't help. It does not help improve survival, but it was associated with longer hospital stays. And then you look at the data within the article, people stayed in the hospital twice as long as people that didn't get it. So could you critically think and think, maybe it made them worse. If they had to stay twice as long, is it possible that it made them worse? So here's an interesting piece of data regarding the Ebola clinical trial. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that the remdesivir part of the trial, it was tried with 3 other agents, was stopped early because it had the highest death rate of any agent that was tested in that study. And you can look up this PubMed ID. So it's PMID:325-47625. Go back and screenshot the others. Remdesivir used for Ebola. And by the way, our people making policies know about this. They were part of that trial too. It had to be stopped because it had the highest death rate of anything that was used. So let's put on our critical thinking hat for a moment. If it doesn't help in terms of survival, if people stay in the hospital longer, and in the past, the clinical trial had to be canceled because it had the highest death rate, are we excited about recommending this, mandating this? Well, maybe not. So what do? If you have to go to the hospital, go to the hospital. I'm not going to tell you not to go, but be an advocate for yourself. Absolutely say, well, if you agree with this, no way to remdesivir. I'm not doing remdesivir. That might be the thing to say. Every Tuesday, I have an Ask the Doctor Zoom, 6 p.m. There's the Zoom meeting ID and the password is Flourish. By the way, I love helping people to get healthy as many ways as possible. And what if you could actually have a coffee or tea or shake or hot chocolate if you're a kid, that was so wonderful for you, so good for your health, that probably for most people would be the healthiest thing they put in their body. That might be pretty cool. And as always, I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, absolutely knowing that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful.